Jai Jagannath, Jai DWARKADHISH. Dear viewers, dear audience, today I am going to give a talk on international topic, that is US Iran direct talks since 1979. Why this the topic I have taken up today? Because now the international scenario or international financial crisis or international market is slowing down due to the engagement of US Iran or US Iran and the Israel war. Now the topic today, how the Iran and US they have engaged in the talks since 1979. Before coming to the topic, request you to like my channel, subscribe my channel, and to share my videos to other friends and colleagues. Now I am coming to the topic. As everyone knows, Islamic revolution, which is known as the Iranian revolution, which happened in the Iran, also Iranian revolution, in 1979 and overthrown the Pahlavi dynasty. Then the Islamic dynasty was set up, or Islamic revolution set up with the own rule in Iran. Since then, the relation between the Iran and the USA strained up, and there was no talk till today, means actually till 2026, as one day before there was a talk in the Islamabad hosted by Pakistan. So now I am coming to the US and Iran direct talks since 1979, step by step. First, I am starting from the 1979 to 1981, Iran hostage crisis. Immediately after Islamic revolution, Iranian students stormed the USA embassy in the Tehran, taking dozens of the American hostages. The crisis lasted for the 444 days. And this was particularly in the final year of the President Jimmy Carter. Then what happens in the 1980, the Iran and the US officials secretly facilitated the weapon sales to the Iran despite an arms embargo imposed by the USA. In the 1981, hostages released on the first day of the Ronald Reagan's presidency, US agrees to lift the sanctions on the Iran and pledge not to interference in the internal politics of the Iran. Then here what happens as the US officials secretly facilitated selling of the weapons, and despite the arms restrictions imposed by the United States, the goal was, specifically the objective was to secure Iran's help in releasing American hostages held by the Hezbollah. Proceeds from weapon sales are illegally funneled to fund the right-wing Contra rebels in the Nicaragua. Then I am taking you next step, that is the 1998 UN General Assembly talks. The senior American and Iranian officials hold the talk, and the rare public talk at the United Nations, and mark a brief, that means pause in the hostile relations during the late Clinton administration. Then in the 2001, that is after the Afghan attack, that means the September 11 attack in the USA, the USA and the Iran developed back channel communication, and the USA military campaign against the Taliban, and that was against the Al Qaeda, that was also internally supported by the Irans, that took the help of the Irans also. And in 2002, President George Bush labels Iran as the part of axis of evil, that is with the Iraq and the North Korea. Then in the 2003, US invades Iraq, Then Iran also, that means Iran militia also fight the American troops. The USA increasingly concerned about Iran's nuclear programs. Are Iran's also insisted in the nuclear program specifically for the scientific and the peaceful purpose. In the 2009 to 12, and that is the Obama's first term, that the sanctions continued. Obama seeks the diplomacy, but the Ahmadinejad expands Iran's nuclear program. Obama administration imposes far-reaching, devastating sanctions. That means severe sanctions were imposed upon the Iran to pressure Iran to abandon the nuclear programs. But nothing also happened, and that is the nuclear programs of Iran continued thereafter. In the 2013, moderate Rouhani elected, and Obama and Rouhani hold the first direct presidential phone calls after 30 years, in more than the 30 years. In July 2015, joint comprehensive plan of actions, and that is after months of the painstaking negotiations, Iran limits its the nuclear program in exchange for lifting some of the bans, some of the American and international economic sanctions, to lifting some of the American and the international economic sanctions. Then in the May 2018, US withdraws from the JCPO. That means President Donald Trump pulls the US out of the nuclear deal. Trump reimposes the strict sanctions upon the Iran. Then April 2025, new indirect talks begins with the Iran by the Donald Trump, and Trump administration starts the fresh nuclear negotiations with the Iran, and indirect meeting in the Oman, and indirect meeting in the Oman and mediated by them, and Oman also hosted these meetings. But in the April 11, 2026, just one day before, ceasefire and the historic direct meeting in the Pakistan. So in the April 11, 2026, US delegation led by the JD Vance, and also Iranians led by the foreign minister and the speaker of the Iran parliament. So nothing also happened. There was the stalemate, and the talk could not be successful. This is how the US-Iran talks, direct and indirect talks, since the 1979. Now we are all hopeful that actuals, so without wasting the time, the both countries should engage and sort out the problems, because the world economic crisis can be sorted out soon. Otherwise, the world will move into the deeper economic crisis. So before coming to the topic, once again I request to all the audience and the viewers to give your the views, make your the comments, and like my channel, share the videos to your friends and colleagues. Thank you very much.